We've got the beautiful Amanda here. And if you guys if you guys were at the event, Amanda was there with those bowls, and I mean the sound was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I mean, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm got a lot of things going on because I'm trying to make sure Zoom is working, that a free conference call people was transferred to the Zoom. And so I had a lot on my mind, but that sound was so relaxing. It felt so good. So much so, there was this roach that was so attracted, and I kid you not, it was attracted to the sound. I don't know where it came from.
I have no idea.
It came from outside. I don't know. But he came in and he went straight to Amanda, and I'm looking like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know. If I run over there and try to get it, I don't know what to do because it was so relaxing and it was quiet. And I'm like, I'm just lost. And Amanda was so professional and cool. Are you afraid of roaches?
Yes. I was terrified. But the only thing I could think about was, I don't want to mess up the sound bath. I don't want to mess it up for them and then disrupt them because I'm all like, get the bug. So my mom was like, just try to get it to go the other way. Keep going. And it did for a second. It did go the other way for a second. But then when I looked back up, it was like in the midst of everything. Like, wait. So I like try to like ease up to go like grab my shoe and be like, I can get it while I'm playing. And then that's when the guy like appeared from out of nowhere. I'm like, here, you do it.
She took it for the team because she never missed a beat. If anybody had their eyes closed, they would have never known what was going on in that corner.
I was going through it.
She was going through it. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God. I guess I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. I just said, Maya, go get what's it, Mark? I said, go get Mark.
Thank you.
To come get this bug.
Because I was all like, nah, I'm going to have to stop. Because when he get up in there, I was all like.
He was all trying to come up on her. It's like, oh, mama, hey, thank you.
I was all like, I'm glad you enjoy it, but please go back to your respective area to enjoy it. You don't need to be up close to get that.
It was hilarious. I mean, it wasn't hilarious at the time. At the time, it was very scary and traumatizing.
I think I looked at you like,
I know, and I'm just looking lost.
I was all like, oh, snap, I don't know.
And she sent it my way, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do with it. Because when he came back, he was all underneath my feet. I had my feet up in the air, waving like I just don't care. But so she took care of it so professionally, and it was a beautiful, beautiful session. So thank you for that. So we have Amanda here. Now, as you know, she's extremely professional. If you need a sound person, it doesn't matter what comes around. She is not going to stop the sound.
No. Not at all. It doesn't even matter how long. I did a few weeks ago, I did a Father's Day event, and I literally played only like 5 minutes. My segment, because we kind of started late, so it was like it cut down the time of how long that I could do it. So I was like, it's cool. So I literally did just 5 minutes. I played one bowl. I played over everyone, but you could tell the effects of it because all the men later was like, oh my gosh, what was that? I didn't know that existed. Like, I feel so good and so calm and relaxed. And I'm all like, yeah, it doesn't take long to feel the effects of a sound bowl because it's effortless. You just lay there, and because you're an energetic being and it's moving, the sound will come in and kind of smooth and ease that out quickly.
Yes. Yeah. It was amazing. It was really beautiful. I don't know if anybody on here was able to experience that, but it was really nice. And I kind of looked, after we had our little incident, I kind of looked out in the crowd to see if anybody was even affected by it. And everybody just seemed really calm. And I don't even think anybody noticed.
Because when everybody came too, and you talked about, you like, she's professional, y'all. Everyone was looking like,
what? Yeah, what's going on?
What you mean? Like, she did what she was supposed to. Like, you don't even know.
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it was
no.
beautiful and it felt really nice. I'm like, wow, we have to do this every time
Yeah.
we start do a session, get everybody in the right vibration.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Absolutely.
I'm going to
Absolutely.
go ahead and give our disclaimer. This is a community call to educate the community about holistic healing. All the information and comments are the opinions and experiences of individuals. Unless introduced as a doctor, individuals on the call are not doctors. So please consult with your own doctor, or better yet, do your own research and consult with your inner doctor. It's even better to find out what works for your own body. So I would like to introduce Amanda. She is a perspective curator who designs private and community experiences that invite individuals to gather, explore their beliefs, laugh, cry, and grow. She blends coaching, Reiki, why am I not saying that right today? Sound healing and astrology to deepen self relationship and honor each person's unique energy. And she is discussing selfishness today. I'm so glad because that is something we really need to talk about.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and I wanted to say, you guys, I'm from Louisiana. My family's from Louisiana, so we like to eat. I have a bowl of fruit here to help yourself. I know I don't want to be traditional podcast or whatever, so we're gonna get our eat on. So while you're explaining to us what is the benefit of selfishness, we'll probably be chatting, chewing and chatting.
Okay. So the benefit of being selfish, first we really need to make sure that we separate your traditional hearing of selfishness, right? Selfishness has a lot to do in the modern day. When you first hear it, seems selfish, ego, right? Like me, only me, nothing else. And in this scenario, what I'm referring to is more of allowing for your spirit to kind of lead, more so than your ego, because you got to have a perfect balance of both. But in reality, it is really about you, about your perspective, about what you need, how you want to do something. So it's really you. So I was taking that and I was realizing I was in a relationship for like 15 years and I felt like I lost myself. I didn't know who I was. I got into the relationship kind of young. And so it was all like, well, who am I? I'm a mother of four, but true, but who are you? Because the kids would grow and then they would have their lives and they would go do what they want to do. And that person in your life, you feel like, well, they're selfish. They chose the better option for them, not for me. Like, duh. Because it really is about being selfish and you should be aligned with people that flows with you so it doesn't feel as though that you're making this great sacrifice and it doesn't flow with your life. Because depending on how you feel and how you look, that's how you perceive life anyway. So it's important to kind of check in with you. And also, I understand this selfishness has to do too with your relationship with whatever higher being you decide that you want to coincide with. So whether it's God, Buddha, Allah, it's still a personal relationship because no one hears what you hear, feels what you feel, see what you see, experience it how you experience it other than you. People can understand it, but they won't know it firsthand like you. So you have to understand there has to be a level of selfishness in you to be able to go ahead and give that out. And once you pay attention closely to yourself, the better that you can give out to other people. So that's why I'm all like selfishness, yes, but not by ego, because ego can go on an extreme of me, and I'm gonna step on everybody in order to get ahead, and not like that. No, selfishness just says look at yourself 1st before you just look out into the world, because it starts with you first, and how you feel is how you will perceive. Yeah, like that. So that's why selfishness is very, very important.
Kind of like that plane scenario that everybody uses.
Put the mask on first before you try to save somebody else.
Yes. And I remember I mentioned this before, when I was on a plane, I said, okay, why would I put it on me first? And I've got my kids, And then later on it clicked. It's like, okay, well, if I'm dead, what are my kids going to do?
Exactly.
So you got to feed yourself first so that you can help other people. It makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so, yeah, taking that route, it's been very, very, how can I put it? Such a relief.
Mm-hmm.
It's been such a relief on just life. I wanted about 5, 6 years ago. I want to say that I went through a period of where I learned that I was moderate depressed. Um, I was like searching for something, looking for something. I prayed all the time. I'm like, God, I don't understand
Yeah.
why, why you not helping me out. And although I would hear these things and these feelings about myself, I just didn't understand to take that leap
Mm-hmm.
of, okay, it felt it felt selfish. Like it
Mm-hmm.
felt selfish to want to do something for myself, but it was not like, duh, it's for yourself. You got to do it. You want to go ahead and give out all these wonderful things. And I have 4 daughters, and I remember with each pregnancy was just, God, please show me how to be limitless to be able to go ahead and be the best parent that they need, that each
Yeah.
of them need, because they all will experience something different because it's a self experience. So I say, help me to be a mom for each
Right.
of them, not just in general, because just a general mom, they still going to get something different.
Yeah.
So I always want to make sure I pay attention to those things. But just overall, being selfish and just understanding that is also allowing for you to have a better relationship again with God, with Source. It allows for you to have that and be able to coexist and understand what moves you need to make. You want to be happy. It says, "Ask and you shall receive." So how would you know, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't know the whole thing. You don't know how it moves and functions. And if it says, "Hey, go through that door right there," and you like, "Nah, I ain't gonna do that because Susie over here told me that I don't need to do it." So now this is an external
Yes.
person telling you something, but you need to be selfish and listen to what that said and go through the door. And then it may lead to a whole lot of other things that you've been asking for. And you won't prevent yourself. And then now you see and get to understand how the communication works between you and spirit.
Yes. Yes. I love that because what you're saying, I have experienced. Because all my life before I got married, I
Mm-hmm.
was selfish. Well, I guess I can't really say selfish because I was a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a point in time where I just, I realized what I was doing. I was constantly pleasing other people, doing things for people.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got married. Well, I started working on myself, and then I got married, and I fell back into that. Oh, I've got to please my husband. I got to please my children. So 20 years later, I realized as my girls started getting older, I'm like trying to find something I like doing. And I don't even know anymore. I used to like plays and ballets. I used to like to travel. And now I'm not doing any of that.
Yes.
I'm just doing everything that my husband likes or my children, everything for my children.
Yeah.
It took me years to find out what I enjoy. And I'm still learning
Yes.
what I enjoy. And now, once I started focusing on that, my whole world opened up.
Yes.
So now I've got this endless world, whereas before I felt like I was in a bubble and didn't even realize it
Yes.
because I was doing what I was told to do. Like, take care of your family, take care of this and that. You can still do that,
Exactly.
but you can also care for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
Right.
a learning experience from that.
That is true. That is true because it's like you don't forget about your family. I'm able to do things for them that I truly enjoy. That secret sauce when you're cooking, it's the love that you put in and the energy that you put in. So now it's higher because I feel differently about it.
Yeah.
I don't feel trapped. And if I can't do something, I have to make sure that my daughters know, like, hey, I'm unable to do that for you today.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm not feeling good, I can say, today I'm not feeling my best. I need some time to myself. Not only, but I'm also showing them that it's okay for them to say, hey, I'm not feeling good today.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. That is your feelings matter. Don't put it to the side. If you're unable to do it, you're unable to do it.
Right.
Because if you go and do it, then you will be feeling horrible later. You know, my head is bothering me, oh my back, I don't feel like this.
Yes.
And I always say when people start to get sick, you know, that's that dis-ease within the body, because the energy, the emotion had asked for you to, like, I need you to stop. And then people are like, no, I gotta keep going. I gotta go do this for them. I gotta go do that for them. And your body's like, I need you to stop. No, I can't do that. Like, yes, you can. Your body is begging you to stop, or it's going to stop you. And when it stops you, then you're gonna not want. You don't want that stop.
Right.
That stop is a whole different type of stop.
It could be
So
hospital.
yeah, and the people, if they love you, if they care about you, they will understand. Now, will they have an attitude? Because I tell my girls all the time, I may not like it. What you got to tell me? First off, forgive my face.
Yes.
Secondly, let me process it. But I'm going to understand, and I'm going to, like, okay, get over it. Because, yeah, if I needed your help and I really want you to help me, yeah, I got an attitude that you couldn't help me. But I love you, and I understand that you said that you needed this time. Go ahead, have your time. I'll talk to you later. I'll figure it out. Because it's all like, no, I don't want to drag you into the mud.
Right. That is so true.
That's not fair. Because at the end of the day, what was I doing? Being selfish.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't be selfless. I'm mad that you didn't understand that I needed that. Like,
you didn't do what I said to do. Yes. My daughter used to be a people pleaser. And by the way, I can't stop the sharing. Maya, if you could kind of show me with that. But anyway, she used to be a people pleaser, like I used to be. And I'm like, Maya, you should really, do the things that you want to do. If you don't want to do this, then you don't have to do that. Do the things that you like to do. So she started working on that, and she has mastered it pretty well. She's mastered it pretty well. She still looks out for others. But one day I was asking her to do something, and she had something to do. She was doing her thing. And she's like, oh, mommy, and very polite about it. I've got this going on or whatever. And then there was another time it was like she just didn't want to do whatever it was.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't really blame her because it was something I didn't want to do either. So she's like, oh, no, she told me that she didn't want to do it or whatever. Sure. And inside, I'm feeling like, what? I can't believe, she's telling me no or whatever. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, she's doing the thing that what she was doing was not rude. It wasn't like, oh, she's not going to do the chores or anything like that. What it was something that I wanted her to do because I didn't want to do this. And I'm getting upset because she was telling me that, okay, no, I really don't want to do that. Yeah. And I realized, I was like, wow, my baby has graduated. And I was really proud of her. In one sense, I'm like, girl, you need to do what I tell you to do. In the other sense, I was proud of her because she's not going to get caught up in that thing that I was caught up in. Yep. Doing for everybody first, and then I'm depleted. Yes. So, yeah. So, you guys, and I know we've been raised to feel like we have to do for everybody. Because I know there's a lot of people on here that can relate to that. To where, oh, I'm tired, but I got to keep doing it. I got to go. Mm-mm. So, yeah. You gotta slow that down and just be okay. Because either side, one is heavily ego, right? Like it's an ego in a selfish way when you get mad, right? Because you ain't want to do it. Right. You needed her to do it. And you didn't want to hear that she couldn't do it. And that was more ego driven, but you could have stayed in that space. And then the whole relationship could have went totally left. But because you allowed and you had to regain and be like, you know what? That is what I've taught you. I'm so proud of you telling me that you couldn't. And that's a beautiful thing because you're right. We are taught, like, no, you have to do. You have to do. And I'm all like, well, everything starts energetically first. So if that energy is already disrupted, now we're on a whole lead. We talk about leading killers of different heart disease and liver and stress and depression and all those things. That's because it starts energy first, and the energy first said, "You can't do that." Yes, right. And it's like funny that it's funny that you say that because it was the stroke that I had that made me start becoming more selfish.
Yeah.
And that's what opened my world. So I'm grateful for that thing. At the time it was like, okay, why?
Right, absolutely, because
Yeah.
that's not a way to really live. And how do you take care? And that's taking care of it without any, again, I'm no doctor, but that's taking care of it without medication first. That's the root cause of the heart pain. Is this thing that you're neglecting? You neglected you, and the heart is the central zone out of all the energy within the body. So when you block off the heart, everything stops flowing. So of course it had that immediate stop because the love and the care that it needed for itself wasn't there. It was depleted. When people are like, well, I need people to pour into me. I always say, we don't pour, we overflow. So if I got overflow for you where it just drops down to you and I don't pour, we good. Yes. But if I got to pour it, that means I ain't really got it. Because I don't know how much I'm pouring into you.
Wow, I like the way you say that.
Yeah, I need to keep it full at all costs. And again, me having overflow, being able to share and spread that to other people, that's not being selfish in the context of what we're so used to hearing selfish as. That's me literally pouring into myself so I can give to other people. I'm much, like I said, about 6 years ago, when I tell you, like I just forget life. That was like around COVID, as COVID started to creep in. I want to say that was back in, I had my last two daughters were kind of like back to back. And then in 2017, I remember hearing "Get Back to Yourself." And I'm like, cool. So I got into the gym. I lost like 100 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it just kept going. I decided to, then I decided to get baptized as an adult on my own. Because I was searching for God to understand. Like, I was a people pleaser too. Like, I was trying to do everything for everyone, but I couldn't understand, if I focused in on myself, why did I feel so bad? Yeah. If you say that you give me, you give what I ask, why am I getting this at this level? But I wasn't really pouring into myself. I wasn't listening to what God was actually saying inside of me, versus hearing what everybody else was saying, because that's their interpretation of what's going on. Because even good and bad is very subjective, because it's on the individual who's actually in it, right? Someone who takes fruits off a tree could be hungry, but the person who owns the fruit tree sees a stiller, right? So it's the eye of the beholder. So it's all like, if you don't understand how you perceive, then how would you expect for someone else to tell you how to perceive? Because then it feels like, that don't really go with me. I don't really feel like that. And I remember just seeking, I kept asking. So I asked, I said, talk to me like Abraham, talk to me like David, talk to me like Jesus. Like, what is it that you like? What's the whole point of this? Like, I don't understand God. Like, I didn't went and I'm talking to my counselors. I got therapists. They like, oh man, you moderate depressed, but you keep having these moments. I'm all like, yeah, these epiphanies. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I went ahead and I got baptized. And then after I got baptized, a week later, all I heard was, get up, don't come back. And I'm all like, but I mean, it says I'm supposed to be like in church. What you mean? And it was like, no, get up, don't come back. What you're asking for, I'll need to show you. And so it took that route of just showing me that I'm in everything. There's nothing that I don't touch. I'm in everything. And so when I started to like go about it, and like all these things just started coming. So that's how I got into hypnosis, because that was like the first thing that came in was that. And it was like, oh, the power of my mind. And it was like, oh, cool. And then it was all like, okay, so what you trying to show me about this guy? What is this? But it showed me, like, you hear me. It quieted me, made me shut up a little bit more and stop talking, allowing for my ego side to talk so much, but allow for my spirit side to say, hey, because you need your ego to do what you do. Yeah. You need your ego to be boastful just a little bit so you can have confidence. That's when the ego drop in. But spirit shall always lead in the front, just like selfishness. And then that gives you that chance to say, okay, because if God is a selfish God, how can you be selfish with God? That's just listening to your spirit of what's being said, what's being guided. And so as stuff started to come, the more clear it got, it gave me the hypnosis. Oh, cool. That means I got the power of my brain and I can say this and I can say that. I can turn that off. I can turn this on. Cool. Okay, God. Okay, I see what you're doing here. Then he took me to the astrology. Then he gave me a clear, it says it gives a map before you got here. It gave me a clear understanding of myself, not necessarily like fortune telling or telling me the future. It showed me just all the possibilities of the energy that was captured inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I need for you to do, or this is the route that we shall take. These are the things that I'm interested in for you, roads to go. And I give you an example. So I'm a Libra. I'm also a Leo rising and a Aquarius moon. I mention that because the representation of each of them. The rising sign is like how I come off. Leo, kind of flashy, kind of bright. Hey, how you doing? Got the colors. You're thinking, oh, that she's real okay. Then you get to know me and you see that I'm real chill. I'm not really loud or anything. And the Leo, then the Libra in me is a fairness, right? It's about relationships. So I love to have those conversations with people. I love to be that one-on-one with them and understand them. That Aquarius moon in me is that side of me that allows me to be open. So it's not much that you can say to me that get me riled up and be like, oh, because I'm more open, I'm more fluid, because that's what even those signs, that energy in those signs typically mean. And it, of course, it goes on the whole thing because it's about the possibilities. But I'm saying those things to show you what am I doing right now. I'm a little bit of flashy, not a whole lot. We're having a one-on-one conversation because it's in my third house too. My Libra is in my third house. The third house has to do with communication. So here we are. Here we are at this moment, right? And then in Aquarius, I get to have people, because I do have random people come tell me a lot of things. I didn't heard people that felt bad because someone, was unalive and they feel responsible for it. And we've had this talk and I'm all like, cool. And she said she felt relief because it was all like, well, you didn't really show any emotions when I was telling. She said, but I mean, you were smiling. She was like, but it didn't feel. I was like, well, yeah, go ahead. Because I got the capacity to hear you out, take it in. And then it just goes because I have no attachment, because Aquarius people has a detachment to some things. So I don't have this attachment to what it is. Just get it out, let it flow. Here we go. So it's like that's what it showed me. Like, oh, I've always thought that about myself. Here it is, giving me confirmation that, hey, that really is me. So I went from a state of trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life to saying, I just get paid to be me. Like, wow, it's already right there. You already gave me that. Like, okay. And then I take that and now I can go with it. And then it also allows me to know what type of energies are present.
Yes.
To be able to move differently, but not literally make it my religious, like, wake up, what is the moon? Where's that? It's not like that. You shouldn't do anything like that. Too much of anything,
right,
isn't a good thing. And too less of something ain't no good thing either. So you got to find a balance of what that really is. And so, like, even doing the Reiki, I started, I done like acupuncture, massage. Those are all things that help your energy keep moving. And emotions is energy in motion. So it's a necessary. So if you get stressed, you get mad, those things are necessary to have to leave. It's just process. And it just gives you pivots and checkpoints in life on what you need to do. That's why the emotions come. Not to say that's a really bad thing, is maybe I won't do it like that next time. I learned this instead. But sometimes you do need help getting rid of certain emotions and different things. So God has given a slew of ways of being able to process it. Because if you look at animals, say ducks, for instance, if they get into it, the first thing you see ducks do once they separate is get big. Yeah. And then go back to riding like it never happened. That's the same thing we have to do.
So are they shaking it off?
Shake it off. and then get back
Oh,
to it, because
wow.
it's not saying that that was just a horrible thing. It's just people come into your life because they're there for a particular reason. It's your perspective of what you need. So if you've been needing to work on your boundaries,
Yeah.
then the people that enter your life is going to make you check yourself about your boundaries. Is that really a boundary? Do you need one? Do you hold it? Do you do that? That's why you got so many people coming in messing with your boundaries, and it's those checks. Are you doing it? Is that really what you want? Is that how that is? Again, that's why you have to be selfish, because it's always coming back to you.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Oh,
then once I can get that under control, I can handle other people. So you
yeah.
come and you irritate me, you doing a job that I need to be done because you showing me something that I probably was thinking about earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Here she come, like always talking. He's like, well, did you say that you wanted to be a speaker? I mean, why you mad that she over there talking? That's because I ain't doing it.
Yes.
Now I got a problem with you, so let me check myself, because it ain't really you, it's me, because you showing me this is really what I want to do, and I got so much passion that that's what I want to do. I got a problem with you.
Yes.
Because I'm afraid to do it.
I'm so glad you said that, because I've been talking to people all week long about that same thing, because they're saying that, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like that person, and it turns out that that person is like shining. They're like a shining star,
Yes.
and a lot of people don't like shining stars. Like on your job, if people are coming against you and you're a shining star, it's because of what you're saying.
Yeah.
That explained that so well.
Yeah.
Yes.
People get defensive with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like, I ain't gonna tell you bother me, because I want to do that too. Instead of coming to you and asking for advice and like, hey, da da da, I'm gonna go ahead and put my defenses up and be like, I ain't talking to her. She always trying to do that.
Yeah.
And that shining light is just the truth. Nobody like, people really just don't like hearing the truth.
Yeah.
Like,
she thinks you know everything. You catch yourself saying that, then you might need to go back and think and reflect.
Exactly. We're part of it, because it's not the entire person, right? It's just something about what they're doing is connecting with you so deep that is making you just not want to deal with it, or it makes you, forces you to look at your own truth.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't want to sit with that. And I'm
Yeah.
popular believe when we talk about selfishness, and we talk about even with how religion and different things are viewed, they make it seem as if it's a very external situation, when it's a very internal situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you have to understand it's an internal situation, when you talk about good, bad, good or evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to think that that's something that can be conjured from the inside that spews out. And it's like, no, because you have to, because then you can take accountability if you do something. So if I hurt your feelings and I realize that I hurt your feelings, I can say I've literally been in the midst of conversations with people and realize I have overstepped my boundary, and I've said, you know what? I have overstepped my boundary. This had nothing to do with me. And I can take myself out of it. My bad. And been okay. They were like, well, thank you. Because I remember it was two friends. They got into it. I'm trying to talk to both. Go ahead, y'all need to get back. And da da da. And it was all like, wait. Am I trying to do that because I want them to be back and be all cool? Or is that truly what they want? Are you listening to what they're saying about what happened? And so it was all like, okay, so I took myself out of the equation to say, yeah, I'm doing too much. I heard you. You said you needed a break. When time is right, you'll come back to it. You never said that you was good and done with the group. You just said, I need a moment. And I need to be okay with giving you that moment. Yeah. So let me check myself, because it's not about me. You need something. Yeah, you need something. So
yeah, and we as people need to learn how to, like, if somebody comes offending me, then I need to learn how to communicate with that person and let them know, okay, look, I love you, but this bothered me the other day, and hash that out. Talk about that, because I had gone to that landmark program, and they teach you how to communicate with other people. And if something is bothering you about a person, it's usually because of my perspective. They may not have even thought about what I'm thinking about. Oh,
Yes.
she thinks that I'm this. That's why she did that. It may not even be true.
Exactly.
But when you bring it up to the person may tell you, "Oh, no, it had nothing to do with you."
You thought I do.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. So I had called a friend of mine because, she wasn't, really participating with things I had going on. And I'm like, let me just call her and let her know that I'm feeling some kind of way. I let her know. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I've made you feel like that. No, I've got a lot going on. I just have a lot going on in my life."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, now I feel bad for thinking that nonsense. I'm like, wow.
The power is just having the conversation and being okay
Yes.
with the responses. I even tell my daughters that I'm like, just get out how you feel. How someone takes it has nothing to do with you. But
Yes.
of course, you don't come and be like, "What you did?" No. Come in and just say, "Hey, this is how I felt about the situation." It may take a person sometimes a second to let it register in their head. Like, you really felt that way.
Yes.
I'm hurt that you felt that way.
Right.
But it's also important then too to also learn about people as well. Remove the expectations, because expectations set you up for that disappointment. And start understanding how someone really is very important. An easy example I can give in that is like I used to be a manager, and my people that would come in the morning, they were sluggish, they didn't really do any work. It wasn't because they weren't lazy, it was because they wasn't morning people. I needed to put them to come in the afternoon. Don't worry about it. Unless I absolutely needed it, put them in the morning time. And my person at night, she have doing stuff, not because she lazy, but because she's a morning person. She operates best during the daytime. Oh, yeah. So let me put them where they need to go and now put this label on them as if they did something horrible. Now they operate at their best. Now I ain't got to worry about what's going on at the store because everybody, they grooving and moving. And that's like with people in general. Like, what gets me every time when I talk to somebody, they be like, "They do this every time." Why are we surprised?
Yeah, because they do
why
it
are we upset? You literally said they do this every time. So while we are expecting something different from an individual that shows you this is what they do every time, why you keep giving that task? Because you got this expectation that they ought to do it. Like, that's not their best. Right. When you start recognizing people for who they are, because you recognize yourself for who you are, you're able to go ahead and give that grace, and then you'll move people where they need to be. Yeah. Versus thinking they ought to be right there. Right. Like, that's not, they already showed you that.
Yeah, over and over and over,
and over again. Every time I ask them, I get the same results. So why were you mad? Why are you calling me mad about it? Like, so I was like, you should be mad at yourself.
Right. That is so true. And there was this, what's that reading, that human design.
Human body design?
Yes, that human design reading is something that I want to do for, everybody that I work with, because it tells just that. Like you said, the morning person, the person was at night. Well, it tells the characteristic of a person. And so far, it has been just spot on every single time. Yes. And you see, that's something I used to be against when I was, in religion. When I was caught up in religion, I felt like astrology that's the devil. Or, everything was the devil at that time. Yoga, astrology, psychology, hypnotism, all of that was the devil back in the day. But when I started opening up, when my world opened up, I realized, wow, okay, astrology just teaches you more about yourself. That's because that is an extension of us.
It is.
It's what it really is. It's an extension of us. And if God has these tools for us to learn more about ourselves, how can we say that's the devil?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd be wondering why people put God in the box.
Yes.
Like, he going to do this, but you say he created everything. Girl. What you mean?
Yes.
Like, and then it says in the beginning, let us make them into our image, right? And I always think about that because when you look at astrology, that's literally all the planets Because what I said earlier, I'm a Libra, I'm a this, I'm that. I wasn't just this one sign. Like I'm legit all of them. We are all of the signs, all of the planets. Just the mixture is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Where it lands, and you can see about yourself. You can see how you show up in these different places and these different things. So yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely it's great when you allow for that. And as well, I always it's very interesting because they say, oh, that's the devil and different things when it comes to astrology, but think about it. What was they doing all that time ago?
They found Jesus through astrology.
They found Jesus through astrology, and then Abraham looked to the stars.
Right.
But what was they doing though? They weren't watching TV.
No.
They wasn't on the phone talking to people. They wasn't meeting up to go here, go there.
No.
They legit was under the stars.
Yeah.
What do you do but watch the stars and then notice the behaviors of people when it happened? I can tell you, nurses, teachers, they all can tell you when a full moon is upon them. Because the kids and the patients and everybody starts spiking.
And that's when the babies are born.
Because it goes. They know it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's a full moon. No wonder why these kids are here acting crazy. Like, because the moon rules moves the water, and you 80% water. So that means it moves you. So your moods, your people getting arguments. I'm all like, it's a full moon. It's cool.
Yeah.
Let them have it.
Yeah. Whenever we have an issue with my sister, my mother would say, well, where's the moon? And we would look, and sure enough, it was like, oh, okay.
That's why we up in here having a moment. Got you. That's why I'm over here crying, watching the news and just crying like that don't go together, girl. What you doing? Like, oh, it's a moon. I get it. I get it.
Yes, so true. Can you, for those that aren't familiar with Reiki, can you explain that and how it has anything to do with our emotions or things like that?
Okay. So with Reiki, that means energy, universal energy, life force. We all are energetic beings, and you have this energetic field that's just around you. And so we all can use a level back in the not back in biblical, but I want to say old church, laying hands on people. This is still that type of form of laying hands on somebody. But when it comes to like the term Reiki, it came from Japanese, and he studied. It was these symbols that came up in mind for him. And he continued to keep seeing the energy move in a particular way when he did these certain things or placed his hands over such like the chakras, which is your energy points that's connected to that energy field. So like when you walk into a room and you'll be like, ooh, some don't seem right because you felt the energy, right? And so with Reiki, what it is allowing for that energy to be able to be moved. So when you suppress the emotion, which is energy emotion, so say you had a heartbreak, then more than likely within your chakra area, something's broken, it's blocked. So the energy isn't flowing as it needs to. So with Reiki, certain hand placement, different things, you will place it over it and try to help get rid and move that energy in that person. Once that energy is moved within them, then it gets back flowing. So while you're in a Reiki session, it's not unheard of if you go from being really hot to being really cold. Really physically, because being really hot, that's a lot of built up emotional energy in one spot. So like legit, when we talk about dis-ease in the body, that's that heat. Your doctor be like, it's a lot of heat that's going on right here. It's just like a buildup happening. We got to go ahead and do go in and see what that is. That's that energy blocked. So with Reiki, we'll come in and start to move that energy, get it back flowing. Let me clear this out for you. Let me move it out of the way. And then you'll start to feel even cool. And it's not, like I said, you can even have chills like, whoo, because now it's back flowing. Within the body, and now the energy is going. So emotions will come up during sessions. I've had people yell. I've had people cry. I've been under Reiki and cried and let it out. Like after my father passed, it was hard to like let it out. only because he programmed us. He used to be like, don't cry for the dead, cry for the living, because they got to keep going. I did my time. That's what he used to say. So when he passed, it was all like, do I cry? Oh, no, I can't cry. I want to cry for him so bad, but I feel bad. I got to, like that. So when I went to Reiki, that was one of the things that they helped me get out. So it let me release that energy that I've been holding on to, that I was stopping, that wanted to come out. So then it allowed for me to go ahead and have that flow, which then it allowed for me to actually deal with my grief and different things a whole lot better, because I wasn't blocking this particular energy. Yeah. Now, if I feel like I need to get it out because I'm thinking about them, I don't have that blockage. It just flows because I've already dealt with that. And that's like with anything in the body. And typically, depending on the individual, for me, I also can pick up certain things from people. From when I'm in the energy field, and it's probably connection to why it's blocked. Like I've dealt with quite a few people who, like, their masculine side is like very heavy, but it's heavy because they're trying to do everything. They're trying to be everything for everybody. They're trying to go, 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 and I'm all like, oh, your feminine side seems so small and like wants to be free. Like, you may want to rest, take some rest. Rest is a revenue generating thing. Rest is a good thing for you. Yeah. It helps you to repair and restore the body. You have to stop. You want some fresh ideas? Get a good night's sleep. Like, it's as simple as that. And so when you do Reiki, it help moves that. So that person may have a better night's sleep, but I'm picking up on that to be able to give them that information. Because most Reiki sessions is not just, oh, I cleared your energy, you good. It's all like, no, you got more work to do. You may want to come back next week because you're trying to figure out how to do it. And I always say layer other energy things on it too. So IQ, massage, yoga, all those things paired with it. That way the energy can keep moving. But that's what Reiki really is. This is about to die.
So I'm a visual person. So while you're saying that, I'm picturing, like when you said the heat, I'm picturing like the thermography or whatever, whenever they check to see for breast cancer, it's like heated up in that one area where it's inflamed.
Yes.
So when you say the energy flow, so I know there's like the spinal fluid that flows up. You've got the lymphatic, system that flows. Exactly what with the energy flowing of the Reiki, what is flowing in that instance?
It's that same instance. That's what's keeping everything going. So like, if you ever seen that picture of the biofield when it's a person standing there and then they got these dots that goes around
that as well.
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. That's your energy that's going. Okay. That's your energy from here to here. That's just allowing for it to flow and come out. So say if you have something that's going on now, say I stuck my hand in the midst of that thing coming. Now it don't flow. I'm hitting a stop right here. It's not going anymore. So what needs to come through here is no longer coming through. So now this side is working 10 times harder because now it's trying to keep this energy going. Now it's getting tired. Now it's slowing down. Yeah. So then if with a Reiki session, I'm gonna come in and be like, okay, let me okay. Now that is back flowing. So then I'm gonna come over here and give this relief over here to say, hey, you don't have to work, and I'm gonna get it all back aligned and get it going. So now that energy that was supposed to be going out is back flowing like it should be.
Okay. So
because you have the points, it comes like out of your head, out of your feet. Those are our points of where energy come out. The tips of your fingers, that's where energy and different things come out.
So if you're with a client, you're able to tell automatically where those are, or do they have to tell you, oh yeah, I'm feeling this or that to determine?
Oh no, I don't need to say anything. It was interesting because I had that question myself. Do I need people to tell me what's going on with them, or do I just need to do it? And one day I asked that question, and I want to say shortly after that, I got a patient that came in, a client that came in, and she didn't want to talk. She didn't want to talk beforehand. She didn't want to talk afterhand. She just want to come in and get it done. And I picked up so much stuff from her. I'm all like, oh, you're very, like, she was a very closed off person. And that wasn't necessarily because of her wanting to come in and come out. It was like she was really battling some real internal things with herself. And so afterwards, with the little bit of time I had, I told her, I said, you need to be a little bit more adventurous. Don't be so closed in that you can't experience life. That's part of the reason why you sad. You sad because you're not experiencing life. You can't control everything.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I picked up. And then she left. Like, how would I have known? She didn't tell me if that was right or if that was wrong. She was like, okay.
That was it.
That was it. But for people that's what I mean by like what I picked up was what I picked up. I stopped like trying to figure out if what I was picking up was actually true. I had one lady, I was doing Reiki, and I said to her at the end of it, I said, hey, like a lady, I was like, I picked up, all I saw was this like a Spanish kitchen. I said the woman was throwing plates, speaking Spanish, and it was kids running around. So she was all like, I don't know what you talking about. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know where it came from. But I was like, I don't feel like it was like your memory, but it was your memory, if that makes sense. Like maybe she was there, but it wasn't her scenario.
Okay.
And so 2 weeks later, sorry again, she came in. And we were talking. She had another Reiki session because she was going through we was doing like we had a plan. So she came in, and here we are at the end of that particular session. And she said, hey, you remember that time that I told you I had no idea what you were talking about? And I was like, yeah. She was all like, I was talking to my sister about it. And my sister said, you don't remember your husband's mother? She was crazy. And she said she didn't know English. She only spoke Spanish. So that displacement was she was there, but that wasn't her mother. That wasn't her grandmother. That was her husband's. And she said that was her boys that was running around. Wow. So I was all like, maybe she trying to talk. I don't know what that had to do, but I just delivered the message. What you do with it has nothing to do with me. Goodness. But I thought that was like the most hilarious thing because she came back. And then I'll pick up some stuff that's even quicker. I've had one lady, I asked, I said, are y'all hiring at your job? Like somebody want to be your, well, I asked, I said, is someone trying to ask you to be their mentor and you don't want to? She said, man, she was like, how would you know that? I hired somebody today on my way in. And at the end of the interview, after I hired them, they had asked that question. And she was all like, what should I do with that? I said, put them in their strengths. Only in their strengths. Yeah. Don't put them in their weakness. Because if you put them in their weakness, you're going to have to be more hands-on.
Wow. So how did you suggest to her to find a person's strength or weakness? Or how would you suggest?
Well, for her, that will probably come through a series of just one from the interview because she said she just hired them, so she don't really know too much. But I would just tell her to one, trust her gut. Two, just pay attention to what they said on their resume and see what it is. I said it may be difficult at first, but if the more that you start to see what they can do, keep pushing them more into those things that they can do. Yeah. Because she said she still was going to take them up on being a mentor, but she really didn't want to do it. I was like, that's all I got for you. Like, put them in their strengths. Yeah. I don't know anything about the person she hired, but I just said, find out what their strengths are and then keep them in that.
Yeah. So, yeah. That is so cool. So, one thing you had said that I wanted to touch on a little bit, and it just slipped my mind as soon as I said that. But it was another thing with the overflow. Mm-hmm. I just wanted you to touch on it a little bit more because I love how you said, so when you're pouring into yourself, if somebody's asking something of you, it's your overflow that you should share and not so much like when you're getting
from the
poured
actual
into.
Cup. Yeah.
Yes.
Like not the actual cup. Like I don't slide your cup up under mine so you can catch some of this. Because when buses is flowing, it's overflowing. So go ahead. I don't mind rooting for you. I don't mind giving you. If I'm led to help you, then I'll go ahead and do that. Mm-hmm. But I try to do that. That's why I'm the way I am with my daughters. I'm very truthful on how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. If I'm in a particular mood, if I'm upset, if I'm doing any of that, that's me taking control of my cup and telling them this is what I need at this time. I can't give you that at this moment because this is what this is. And so they can do that to me in return. Mommy, I'm feeling some kind of way today. I'm going to sit in this room like, cool. Take your time. I don't want to hear all the bickering, right? And they have their moments, because they're still learning, they're still growing. But as they get older, I just wanted to make sure that they always know, check in, explain what you need. If the person don't want to do it, don't get mad if they want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, they have their right not to want to do it. Just find another way on how to get something else done. But pouring into yourself, making sure you keep up with your self-care, making sure that you're listening to your body, paying attention to the energy, because that's the spirit gives you the energy to feel like how you feel around people. Notice, do you feel drained? And if you feel drained, there's definitely people that you may not want to be around. And that even goes for being at a job. Like, if you constantly come in and you're feeling drained, you got an energy leakage somewhere that's not supporting you. So your cup is probably getting drained rather quickly versus an overflow, because it's just overflowing, right? So if you're feeling drained from something, you may need to investigate, why am I feeling this way? And when you ask yourself those type of questions, don't judge the answer.
Yeah.
Because you get it. Ask and you shall receive. If I'm saying, like, man, tomorrow I got this, we was referring to being at a job and you're feeling drained. Say you're going and you're like, well, what is it? What do I need to do? And it's like, well, you said you wanted to go off and do your own thing. Like, you could do that. And I'm all like, nah, I need to pay these bills. Like, yeah, but who said that you wasn't going to get the bills paid? Right? Who said that wasn't going to be the case? So now I'm creating this whole leakage because I'm refusing to do. I go home every night, talk about how I would love to have my own job. I can start my own thing. I can do this. I can do that. And then I get back to work. I'm all like, because it's a reminder. You said you didn't want to be here. You said you want to do something else. So now you're depressed because you put yourself through this.
Yeah.
And that's also the relationship that you have with yourself. You're telling yourself that you're not going to stick up for yourself. So now what you do with somebody you don't trust, you kind of go on over there. So you're doing that personally to yourself.
Yeah.
And you like, no, you got to take care of this drainage. And taking care of that drainage may cause you to have to leave. And if you don't leave and you keep saying it, you're going to get the pink slip. Then you're going to be mad that they fired you. But then spirit like, but you said you didn't want to be there.
Yes.
You got to listen to yourself. You got to hear what you're saying. What are you speaking of yourself? What are you aiming for? What is the desires that's sparking in you? You got to check in with yourself. You got to be selfish. You got to really see what that is. How can I be a better mom for my kids? And it's like, well, Amanda, you said you want to show them how limitless life can be. So I'm going to put you through a process to make you feel and understand how limitless life really is. I'm going to show you, I show up in everything. Because one of my questions I used to ask my mom, if that person's a good person, are they going to hell because they don't go to church, mama? But they're really, really nice. Yeah. Right? Or like she used to, I grew up Pentecostal, so like trying to do any type of dance and be like, oh, that's the devil. But I'm like, but God made everything and he gave that person the talent to dance. Why can't they dance? So I couldn't fathom what all that was because it wasn't connecting to me. If God made everything, but then if they do that, then that's the devil. Like, so, but then the devil come from God at the end of the day, like, then it come from the same person. So how can I get it to where everything works out in my favor, where it flows in such a way? So God has given me, that's why I was like, get up out the church. Not telling me that church was bad, but what you need to see is, yes, the question you're asking is, where am I? I'm at everything. And it's about how you handle it. And how you handle it is going to be how you perceive it. And how you perceive it is going to be based off the relationship that you have with yourself. Why do you need a relationship with yourself? Because I'm there. Yeah. Spirit lives in you. Spirit is trying to have an experience. You figure out what your purpose in life is. It's the experiences that you yearn to have. That is your purpose. It's merely to have an experience. Yeah. That's it. Not to go save the world. You may save some people in the midst of what you're doing, but the goal isn't so concrete, like I gotta be this person, I gotta do this. No, you could be a person that loves to scrub toilets, and if people are just so happy because you work in this mansion, you just scrub toilets for the people and you actually like doing it. and you go home to your family, you get food on the table, like you get to go and do these little things, you get perks from working over here. This person is happy. This person is a successful person and experiencing full tilt what God has for them.
Yes.
On the outside person, if they're not happy with themselves, they're gonna be like, all they do is scrub toilets.
Yes.
But yet they go to a job that they're upset about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So true and so important.
Yeah.
It's so important to go to your job and make sure it's one that you really enjoy, regardless of what they're saying on TikTok and everything else.
Correct.
Oh, you're not supposed to this and that.
Yeah. Like there's no one size fit all on nothing. What works for you?
Yes. We were talking about that the other day. It's like the roles of the husband and wife. Oh, you're supposed to do this and he's supposed to do that. But what if he wants to be at home cooking and cleaning and she wants to go to work?
Yeah.
If they're doing that, everybody's going to talk about him.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to make him work. You need to, you need to do this. He's lazy. But what if they're completely happy?
Yes.
What are they supposed to do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Energy is a real thing because what you speak over someone typically comes out to be what it really is. And I'm gonna say something that could be, but I just want to say about energy. Do you remember like when we were growing up, like I remember thinking and hearing my sisters when I was little and we were talking and she said like, I love when a man does my hair, da 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 da, right? And some of these men as straight as can be.
Right.
But the more people kept putting a label, I even knew people that used to like making clothes. But the more a label and energy kept being spoken over them of this is what it has to be, because if you like that, then you must be this. That's not true.
Right.
If he just likes styling, making sure you look good, doing these things, why can't he just do that without having to be this thing? But the more you speak over something, the more that you say that this is what this is, that this is what this connection is, then what do you think would happen afterwards? Then this person is, you can't find anything without it being connected to that. And so that's energy. So be careful on how you speak over yourself and what you constantly say over someone else, because that energy is real.
Yeah.
And you speaking over them, life and death is in the power of the tongue, literally. So be mindful of how you speak and what you say. Something ought to be, because that's how you feel. Yes, selfish move, more ego driven. It has to be that way versus, oh, okay, you got skills, you got this. Live.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be what this is, and I wouldn't even know either. Like, how would I know all those things either? So it's important to like, everything always reverts back to you at the end of the day, no matter what it is. And speaking over someone, over your life, all of that, like that has a role on how things are played out, period, in your life.
Yeah. And we're guilty of that as parents. You know, and I see it all the time, oh, you lazy, or you're this, or you're that, or you, because you're doing this, you're that. And labeling these kids. And I always use this example of this guy that was, he was the valedictorian or the speaker at a certain graduation. And he was saying when he was younger, people used to always say he was smart.
Yeah.
And he couldn't understand why they were saying that. He's like, I don't know why they were saying that. But in time, he accepted that and he received it. And he wound up as valedictorian.
Nice.
So when I heard that, I'm like, you know what? So I'm going to speak these positive things to my kids, whether I believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, oh, sorry, my daughter's in here. She's looking like,
Fake it till you, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you. Well, they're amazing now. They were amazing then too. But that was my thing. Yeah. Even with my nieces and my nephews, I'm going to be positive, because whatever it is I want to see out of you is what you're going to hear me say about you. Yeah, my niece used to do those sneaky things. And I would always say, you're such a good girl. You are amazing. You're this and that. So every time she was around me, she was the little angel. And I'm like, there you go. She's like, Mom, I thought I was fooling you.
That's that perspective, right? You made her feel, the energy you provided made her feel some kind of way. So the version of her you got was the version that you was speaking life into, and the version everybody else got was the version that they spoke life into her ass.
Oh,
So they was all like, she always bad.
Mm-hmm.
Here she is being like
what you claimed, yeah.
What you claim, what you asked for, intentionally, unintentionally, it's happening.
Yes.
It's happening. Like when you pay closer attention to what you say, and then you start looking at what happens, and you be like, let me say that a little bit different.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I keep saying with the not feeling well, I was like, okay, if you're not feeling well, stop saying it like that. Say it differently. Like, yeah, I'm getting better, or I'm in the process out, I'm healing.
Yeah.
Or or I'm healed, even better. But a lot of people they struggle saying that because, oh, it's not true. This is real. This is reality. But I'm like, okay, reality is what you're saying. You're speaking it.
Exactly. You stand in that state for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it was Jose Silver, that he was like, just respond with, I'm getting better and better.
Yes.
And is it not true? Not saying how fast, not saying how slow. I'm just saying I'm getting better and better.
Yes.
That's all I got for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instead of saying, oh, my hip hurts, my butt hurts.
Exactly. Right.
I'm getting better and better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is that you don't want to. The acknowledgement is fine, right? So if the hip hurts, you can say, my hip hurts right now. I'm gonna just sit here and let me know, and then you'll just say, show me what I need to do for my hip, and then you could be strolling and then hear somebody talking about hip stretches and different things. Yes. And then there's your clue, there's your information that was needed, because ask and you shall receive. You got it because you sat there and you acknowledged what was going on. Now the thing is you can't carry it as a badge. Now everywhere you go, you can't say, oh, girl, this hip. Down the street, oh, girl, this hip. At work, oh, girl, this hip. Like, how many times you gonna say it? Like, yes. Now this is a thing. Now this is your thing is your hip hurts. Okay, yes. That's what it is. Yes. Versus, like you said, I'm getting better and better, because you already said it, you already acknowledged it. And I say that with everything. I had a mentee of mine that was all like, I'm just trying to stay positive. I said, girl, that's fake. She was like, what you mean? You said I gotta think better. I said, yeah, but you ain't gotta fake yourself out with this overly positivity, because now technically you're suppressing what you feel. So be honest. If you upset right now, be upset. Yeah. That's even if it's towards God and everything. Be honest. Like you said, I can say all that I need to say to get it off my chest and it'll be good. Yes. So be honest with yourself. But then don't hold on to it and then just say, what do I need to do now?
I had a question about, golly, it's 11:14 already. I had a question about depression. So depression is something that is affecting a lot of people these days, and they're getting medications and all this kind of stuff because they're having, just all of these different things going on. For somebody that's in a position where they're about to start taking medication for depression, is there another route they can go that's more natural, like, with the Reiki or anything like that they can do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say layer that thing up. That's what I mean, because a lot of times, I would say layer the different types of energy healing, whether you go to a sound bath, you do Reiki, you decide to do massage, and feel for the people, because not everyone in these areas are gifted in particular ways, but be led to wherever you feel like you would like to go. That's what I will say. But I feel like before you get there, and I give a great example. My mother battled with depression pretty much probably all of my life. And I learned as an adult her reasons of how she got there. She didn't have as many people that I had when she was going through certain things to give her that support, or to be like, help lift her up and say, hey, sis, do this, do that. So she internalized a lot of things that happened. And then she felt this kind of way, which sparked the depression and her battling different things about herself. So my mom always, she, took different medications and different things. And so when I started doing sound bowls, I finally, because she was all like, I don't know about that, Amanda, you doing that other stuff that I don't believe in that stuff. And I just said, Mama, This please don't associate it with any religion. This is solely a musical instrument, just as if you was just coming to a concert to hear something. Just try it. She did the sound bath, and she says at the end of it, she was like, wow, that was interesting. She said, you know, first I felt myself lifted and put over somewhere inside this. She said I was lifted and it took me over. And she said when I looked where I was at, she said I was in this gate. And she said all the feelings that I wanted to feel was on the outside of the gate. And everything that she was feeling was on the inside of the gate with her. She said, I never realized that it was me who had closed the door on all those other emotions. And I wanted that. And so that was the beginning of this wheel turning in my mom. And ever since then, like I've gone and I've done tuning forks and different things with her. She has her limits on what she's willing to do. But nonetheless, you can see now this wheel is turning on, wait, not everybody's like against me. Like, okay, well, I don't have to internalize the pain that you said that I caused you. I don't have to internalize. I can hear it and I can apologize that that's how it came off, but I don't have to now take on your pain and now feel bad about, oh, I'm just a horrible mom because I didn't do X, Y, Z. And I'm all like, Mom, that was out of your control when that happened. You can let that go. You're right. I can let that in. So it's like our conversations have gotten increasingly better. You can tell like that thing within her relationship with God and everything, all of it, even her interactions, like even being able to hear better and realize she has been disobedient to God for a very long time. Yeah. We had that conversation because she said she came in, I was talking about hearing and responding. And she said, yeah, earlier today I heard unlock the door, but I told myself, ain't nobody coming. I'm going to sit myself down, right? She said, no shorter than I set myself down, did somebody come to that door and knock. Now I got to get up, walk all the way over there when I heard unlock the door. Because she lives in an active senior living. So of course, they up moving. Could have been her neighbor or somebody, and all she had to yell was "Come in!" Right? Now she got to do the extra work because she ain't listened the first time. So it was like those type of conversations that we had, and her doing the sound baths and doing other energy, different things. Right? Me, somewhat casually dropping in. Oh, you a Leo? Like that makes sense, Mom. That's why you do X, Y, Z. So she's learning about herself on the low. So what used to be, oh, I can't do these things, now she feels differently. Now it seems a little bit brighter. That thing on her, that depression that used to be on her, seems like it has lifted enough for her to start to enjoy life and to make these things and not have these expectations of all these other people and now feeling down because they didn't come through. No, she's like, no, I can just do this. And I can make this move. And then I can, you know what? I don't have to sit here and do that anymore. So anybody that's battling depression, you got to, the energy is depressed. It's suppressed, right? The energy is suppressed in you. So now you kind of like replaying these different things in your mind. So that's where hypnosis comes from, because you realize you can take a picture. If it's some trauma or anything that happened, you can literally think about it, right? And it asks, where is it at? Is it in front of you? Is it on the side of you? Is it on the back of you? Like, where is it showing up at? And I'm all like, well, it's showing up right here. Okay, well, see, can you move it to the side? I'm all like, yeah, I actually can. All right, well, is it in color? Is it in black and white? It's in color. Can you make it black and white? Sure. Actually, I can. Like that. And like, well, is it a moving picture or is it a still picture where it's moving? Can you stop it? Well, actually, I can. And it was like that. It's like, wait a second. You just made me, I remember the incident, but what I felt about it seems so small because now it's not in my face. It's off on the side. I didn't shrunk it, push it over. That's so cool. And it's like, yeah, because your brain has that power to let stuff go. But our ego sometimes says, who are you if you're not hurt? Who are you if you're still not sad? Who are you if you're not this? And you're the same person. Yeah. Whether you let it go or not. So anybody fighting that, I'm just getting to different type of energy healing. Like I said, it's not just the Reiki, it's not just sound healing, it's the yoga, it's the working out, it's the taking a walk outside, it's the actual talk therapy, the counselors, the therapists, it's the massage therapists, it's the acupuncturists. All of those people are helping you get something out. The only thing that you have to go in and say is, I'm ready to receive the goodness that's for me. And then check your beliefs.
Yeah.
Do you really live what you believe? Because if you believe God will provide for you, are you worried about not being provided for? Because if that's the case, do you believe that God provides for you? And if that's the case, then act like God will provide for you, and then you will see God really does provide for you. Yeah. It's really simple as that. It's layers in life that makes it seem difficult.
I believe that.
So I always say, if anybody is interested or it resonates with them to like work with me, let's just start a conversation, and then we can go from there. And I'll be led to know what I need to do from that point on.
Beautiful. I love it. Wow, we went to 11:28. I meant to ask if there were any questions. So I thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for coming out and explaining all this to us. And we'll definitely get you back on. And I want to, kind of incorporate some of the things that you do with Sunshine and Wellness, because it is definitely needed.
Yeah,
definitely. I know people already that could use what you do, including myself. So thank you again.
Website, not up yet. It will be, but you can find me on IG. It's Welcome to Panda Oasis. And there's no spaces, but there's underscores in the place of spaces. And then you can also give me a call at 313-284-5885. And you can send a text message too, that it receives text messages. So you can call or send a text message as well. And then I'll blast it all on IG and everything once the website is done. It's just one thing that's lingering, but yes, it'll probably be up more than likely by Monday.
Oh, good.
That's
good. Okay. So if you guys want to get in touch with Amanda, you have her information, and of course, we'll always put it on GroupMe, so you'll have it there as well. You can always reach out to me if you miss something, if you don't have GroupMe for some reason, which you should, and we could also get you on that. 281-891-9903, and I'll hook you up with Miss Amanda Kemp.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So thank you guys for being on here. If there's nothing else, I will bid you peace and love, Sunshine family. You guys make a beautiful week. Go out and love yourself and love somebody else. Peace and love. And this is Bag Lady, you guys. And the reason is this: let those bags go. Let the bags go if you didn't get it. Peace and love, everybody.